Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are hosting a challenge for National Scrapbook Day. I am on the design team. My name is Ty, if you are new to my channel, and I am on the Cherry on Top design team. My challenge for Scrapbook, the National Scrapbook Day, is to use a cut file, add some stitching. So those are just your two tasks. So any cut file and add some sort of stitching. If it's through the cut file itself, maybe just a border on your page, just break out your sewing machine, or you can hand stitch it too. And then there's an extra bonus if you use a Cherry on Top cut file. So they will be, I will link them down below, but if you go to the Cherry on Top, there is a whole tab that says digitals, and cut files is there. I do believe they run $1 or $2 a piece, so if you have some in your stash already, please use those and attach your project in the Facebook thread probably, and then a giveaway will be done. So I am using a few of the new ones from the National Scrapbook Day. So I cut this one out on a navy cardstock, and my silhouette did a botchy job cutting it out. You can see how frayy it is, but I have all the inserts too, and we are going to be using the Cherry on Top quarterly box. So this was the Pink Fresh Spring Vibes that are in the kit. Then we're going to do one, this was also from the kit, this is from the Pink Fresh Sweet Vibes too. We're going to do one in here, so it's kind of like a traveler's notebook size, with the cut file we're going to use for this one, Friends Forever one. And so I have all the pieces and stuff, they're just sitting over there. So we're going to do something with my dogs for this one, something with me scrapbooking here. And then for the last one, so this is going to be real quick as far as me putting them together, but I'm just showing you what I'm using. I do a school year insert in a Heidi Swap Chapters album, and so we're going to use the Let's Get Crafty one on this rainbow paper. This paper is from Hobby Lobby because it's like thin like copy paper, it's not really thick, which I appreciate in this insert. And a photo of her on my scrapbook day on my counters in my scrapbook room. And then I'm going to put some journaling right here. I think I've designated it. So they're going to be 3 quick ones. I just want to give you some inspiration how to use the Cherry on Top cut files. That way you have some ideas. And for actually this one too, we're going to do a little bit of mixed media. So these are also elements from the quarterly box. So I'm going to do some stenciling, and then we'll do some stamping first with some mowed lawn from Distress Oxide. And then, because the colors were the green and the yellow, and then do the yellow with the other stencil that was in the kit too. So we'll do the stamping first, because that doesn't take time to dry. Then do some areas with the butter and let this one dry, and then we'll work on the other ones. And so I do kind of want it just kind of in the middle, and sprinkle some of the mixed media here, and then probably have 2 3x4 photos on the sides is my thought. So let's get started. Okay, so let's start off with the mixed media. Now remember, these are all the content, at least the stamp and the stencil, that are in the Cherry Crafters Cherry box. It's a quarterly subscription box, and so you have all these things to play with. And so I'm just taking out this kit in order to play with it a little bit more, and I have made a bunch of projects with it too, so you do get quite enough material to keep you busy. So I did the stamping with Mowed Lawn by Distress Oxide, and now I'm going in with Sunshine Butter Paste, stencil paste from the Crafters Workshop. The Sunshine Butter Paste is included in the kit, as well as the pear. And so I go ahead and did that part and let that part now dry. Then I'm moving on over here. I worked in steps, so you're definitely seeing the steps as I did them. So I go ahead, this picture I did print as an 8x10, and I thought I was going to have it go across the page horizontally, but I would have to chop it, at like 7 inches, and then have 3 inches on the opposite side. And while I like that and had the cut file overlapping the photo a little bit and then putting pattern paper on the other side, it just wasn't looking right, because there would still be like an inch on the top and an inch on the bottom. And then I was like, well, how do I cover that up with some pattern paper for it to be cohesive? And then I just had the thought of, what if I just flip the whole layout to be, vertically like this? And I just went with it. I was like, yes, we are doing that, because I think it looks better. I get to have the cut file all on one side, and then I can definitely have some journaling on clear sticker paper that I can put on the bottom, and that way that rainbow paper shines through. I leaned more towards the one side of the rainbow and cut off like the pink and purple, because since I cut my cut file like a corally pink, it almost got lost on the pink side of the paper, so I just zhuzhed it over and used the other side of the rainbow for it. And it worked out well. And actually, after looking at it, like, it's a little bit lost, but not totally. And I think I want to add in the filler letters again. But I do like having the rainbow peek through the tie-dye of the rainbow. So I'm leaving it as is. I know you'll see on my outro I don't have my journaling down yet, because I always like to do like journaling for a few projects. That way I utilize the entire 8x10 clear sticker paper with tons of journaling for a few projects. So you just don't see it just yet. So then we're going to move on to doing the traveler's notebook size. Now for this one, these are binder albums from Citrus Twist. I do love their albums very much. I have a bunch of these in this size, and also 6x8. I love them because they're like the colors of the rainbow. So as I need them, I just fill in the rainbows, and then whenever that happens, I will repeat patterns, but I'm still filling my rainbow shelf. So we're doing a Friends Forever. I will also remember to leave all these cut files and the cherry box linked down below for you. So I knew I spaced this one, or sized it, so that would fit on one whole side of a traveler's notebook insert. So whether you're doing it here, or even if you have one that's like a sewn binding, it would fit, you know, just obviously adjust it in your Silhouette or Cricut program, and that way you can use it. So I'm taking also one of the frames from the kit and backing it with just a white cardstock, where I know I can go in and add some journaling, and then just making sure I have like clusters on the left and the right to complement the coral, you know, cut file, and clusters on the other side as well. This one came together quite nicely and easily, and that's always the glorious part about working with the kit, is it not? Like, you have the whole kit, why not take a little here, a little there, a little wood veneer, and bada bing, bada boom, it comes together, and it's so easy, which is why I kind of clumped three rather simple, and, you know, compared to what I usually do, layouts, so that you have a little bit more inspiration for this National Scrapbooking Day. I hope you've been enjoying all of the hops, hops and challenges that were featured all yesterday. Saturday, I know, is tons of stuff on the Cherry Crafters Facebook group, and there's also plenty to come tomorrow for Sunday if you're watching this real time. And if you're watching it within a week of this going up, be sure to have your entries for all of the challenges, including mine, which is simply the cut file and add some stitching. The stitching can be, you'll see me do it, I'll do it at the outro, but you'll see I just do it off camera with my sewing machine, because it just sits on my counters behind me, so I never film over there really. It's hard to get my tripod and lighting over there, so I just kind of do it off camera, and then I'll just show you my work. But add some stitching just so that we utilize other things in our stash. Plus it adds a nice textural element to our layouts. I have become quite invested in adding stitching to a lot of my scrapbook paper and our journal pages. And so I just embellish it. Here I am just adding a few of those enamel dots, and I go in a little bit and add my journaling. You see me in the photo giving a treat to my golden doodle named Maui. Yes, my daughter named him Maui when we got him. He's our COVID puppy. We got him in 2020. So my daughter was only 3 at the time. He's 4 now. Oh no, so she must have been, oh yeah, that's right. And but we also have a doxy in our house too, but I just didn't have a photo of all 3 of us, because that photo is so hard to get of all 3 of us for sure. But my Maui sits for treats and stuff, and I just love him, so he's a good boy. So my mixed media has dried, and so we're going to start doing this layout and putting it together. So I have 2 3x4 photos that I have printed, and one is horizontal and one is vertical. I think in hindsight I might have just wanted them both vertical, but I made it work. You know, it's like a little off. So it's me actually scrapbooking. I usually have the time to do it at night. Mom life for real. You know, once you put your kids to bed, then you can get your own hobbies done. So that's why it's kind of like a photo I put on a tripod outside my craft room when everything's off in our house, but you know, the lights are on in my craft room, and it's just like a little peeking in moment. And then the other photo is a recent haul. If you are new to my channel, if you're just dropping in, I did just place this haul that you see a picture from, because that was my thumbnail photo. It's the video that's just before this one. It's just a crafty haul of recent things I picked up at Michael's, Joann's, Amazon, and a cherry on top. I always buy the rest of my crafting things I cannot find at box stores at a cherry on top. I've been a loyal customer for years, so it's so fun to be on their design team, so that way I can support them even more. So I'm just putting my photos down. I did mat them, and I am keeping them rather flat. I thought about using fun foam and popping them up for the photo, but I wanted the Cutfile to kind of lay over it since it's kind of a scripty font, which worked in the photos because at least there was some negative space in both of them, so that element worked. So nothing got really used any fun foam in this one because everything had to stay flat. And then the Cutfile laid on top of most of these elements, even the clusters of the florals that you see on the bottom aspect. It all just is, it's flat for the most part, which is okay. Sometimes we need a flat layout, but this is like the perfect quintessential Cutfile for our National Scrapbook Day holiday for us crafters. I know we've been celebrating at least for last 5 or 6 years. I can't remember previous to that if it was always a thing. Please let me know in case I just missed it my first beginning of my year, because I have had my channel on YouTube here for about 8 years, so maybe it was always around. I just can't recall. So let me know if any shopping you've done, which sales you're checking out. I know I did a purchase, speaking of the albums I told you about at Citrus Twist, during their Scrapbooking Day sale. It's always kind of like their one-off albums go on sale, and so I usually pick them up because that doesn't bother me if there's like a snag in the fabric or something. So I've already bought like 4 6x8 albums because I will continue to use that size. So these projects were really fun. I hope you find some inspiration. I hope you participate in my challenge and post your projects in the Facebook group. Okay, that will finish up these rather quick layouts. Not rather quick, I mean, it just took planning. I did a lot of the planning before, and now I just execute them here for National Scrapbook Day. So for the first one, I just didn't add my journaling yet. It'll probably just go right down here. Just a story about how she likes to be in my craft room with me. This this insert is for her school year. She's in kindergarten, and I just do a lot of stories, if you're unfamiliar, just things that are relevant for this school year that I like to document. One every year. So I did the one last year as well. And the year before that, I think I've already have 2. She did preschool and like voluntary kindergarten or something. I forget what it's called. Besides the point. Then I did this one. So for Friends Forever. Great Cutfile. Again, remember the contents of this layout. We're using the cherry box, which is now quarterly. So I was able to do a fun kind of traveler size notebook layout here. And I did go ahead and add some of the stitching just along the edge, right, for my challenge. And then this one does have stitching, but I have to say it didn't get finished. So I have it all the way around here. So I started, where did I start? I started here, one here, then this side, and then right here, and then my needle broke. And my needle broke right there, so I have to get new needles, so it doesn't happen on that side. But you can see I just did a simple white stitch all the way around, and I added the stitching. So I told you, it can be as simple as that. Just adding a border makes it just a striking textural element there. And now I even have a story, hence my National Scrapbooking, on how I just broke a needle trying to stitch my layout. But all this, the Cutfiles will be linked down below. I hope you give this challenge a try. I hope I've given you enough inspiration to do some crafting this weekend. I'm so excited about always having this holiday for us crafters. Don't you just love it? Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Give this video a thumbs up. And until next time, bye.